Okay, kids, Ham and Cheese back here with you again today. And on the bench today, we have the Predator Portable Power Station. This comes to us from Harbor Freight. This is brand new on the shelf there. And as of right now, nobody's talking about these, so this is probably the first place you're seeing it. From what I understand, these have only been out now since about the first of the year, so just about 2 or 3 weeks. And this is Harbor Freight's first attempt at portable power. They did have the Jackeries on the shelf previously, but those have since been discontinued by Harbor Freight, and these are taking the place of them. Right now, this is the only portable power station they offer, and it is coming to us with 350 running watts, 294 watt hours, and a 700 max starting watt. It's lithium ion phosphate battery. Here you can see a couple different things, including that it'll do solar charging. We'll get into all of that here in a minute. Full charge in just 2 hours. I don't know if that means solar or if that means AC power. We'll find out. It does come with a 5-year warranty. They do not offer an extended warranty on this when you purchase it because it does offer the 5-year warranty, which I think is pretty great on Harbor Freight's part. And here's a couple of the different things that'll power and what they expect the runtime to be. So let's go ahead and get this thing opened up and see what we have inside. Okay, kids, so here it is out of the box, and it's not a bad little setup. We have a 12 volt 10 amp plug there. That's our standard cigar plug. For USB power, we have a USB-C port. That's 100 watts, and two USB-A ports that'll do 12 watts each times 2. 350 running watts, like we talked about, 700 max, 294 watt hours. Shows pure sine wave with a neutral float. Let's take a quick look here at it. And it shows it has about 40% battery power. Okay, we're not going to power it up quite yet because right here on top and even on the front of the manual, what we're going to show in a second here, tells you right on there, fully charged before the first use or it will void the warranty. Then make sure you charge every 3 months after. That's just good maintenance, okay? Sturdy case, doesn't feel cheap or flimsy, doesn't rattle or anything like that. Nice solid handle on it, handle solid as well, and this is a metal handle on here. You can hear it there, it's got a nice knurl on it as well. Let's take a look here at the ports on the sides just for what it looks like. Nice clean ports there, and you can see they're bolted in, easily removed if need be. On the bottom, got a nice set of feet there. They feel to be a bit rubberized. I think they'd hold up well. And then on the back, this is where we power up at. We have 2 options for power. Our first being our standard 110 port. And then right there, there's something that's familiar to the ham radio community or amateur radio in general. Those are Anderson power poles. And those are 45 amp Anderson power poles. And they are used to power up this guy right here, which is our standard cigar plug. It's real heavy duty. Doesn't feel cheap or anything like that. Nice heavy, looks like a 12 gauge wire on there. Nope, that's actually 16, believe it or not, but it's nice and heavy for 16. Got a cover there and of course our power pole connectors. We also get with it the standard 110, and that's probably the same as any 110 that has that standard computer style fitting on it. And then we also get this guy right here, and that's for extension of solar cables. Now it does say on there they recommend a Predator cable, but it can be used, as we saw in the box, with many different versions, and including our 100 watt suitcase panel that we have as well. So let's get one more look at it here, and then we're going to plug it in, let it get to full power, and go from there. Alright, before we do that, let's take a quick look here at our manual. And we can see, once again, they tell us fully charged. It's a big deal, I guess, with this. Even though it's Harbor Freight, and it's getting better, they still have a little bit of work to do with some printing on these things. Okay, so let's take a quick look. It tells you how to set up and everything. Obviously, don't do stupid stuff with it. Here's our recommended minimum wire gauge and how far you can run with it. It'll do 2 amps up to 40. Some more information on the basic specs. They want an MPPT controller. I think ours is a PWM, so we may have to get a new controller for that. Not a big deal. Controllers are cheap. Some basic info here once again. Gives you the rundown of the front. And there it tells you right there. Anderson power poles for both the car or the solar. We already have a solar set up with Anderson power poles, so we're good to go there. And one thing they tell you here, you can do a max 200 watt panel to it. Bring it in, there's your cable, which we already have our set up the way we do. And they tell you not to daisy chain or run them in tandem. And of course, do your charge up and so on and so forth. Couple little things if you see some flickering, this is your troubleshooting. And if we need to tear it down for some reason, there's the build out right there. And there you can see, looks like they're using 18650s to build it. And it shows you there that it's got a real nice fan in it, so that's going to help keep it cool. And it comes in, so on and so forth, back through the other side. So that's real nice to see that breakout. That's not something they typically do on these Harbor Freight products. So let's go ahead and get into the build, or rather the charge up, and see what we get out of it. Okay, so here we have it in charge mode right now. Just to show you what this looks like real quick. Right now it's about 44% and the fan is on. That's the indicator right there. We got about 2 hours and 33 minutes to full charge. I don't know if you can hear that fan or not, but it is moving and it is pushing out some cool air. It feels relatively cool, so it's doing its job. And right now it's taking in at about 78 watts. So we could put the kilowatt on it and see what it's doing, but I think we'll trust it for now. A little bit over that 2 hour box time that's offered on there, but nonetheless, it will charge up. And once it's fully charged, we'll go ahead and put it through some paces and see what it can do. Alright kids, so here it is, all powered up, ready to go. As you can see there, we're at 99%. We've been playing with it a little bit here, getting it ready to go. And we're going to go ahead and put a couple things to it just to show it off and see what it can do. So we're going to test out some wattage ratings of some things we definitely know the wattages of. Let's start with this Weller 40 watt iron. You've seen these on the channel before. This is our big one that we talk about. Like I said, it's rated for 40. Let's go ahead and get it plugged in. And it's got a nice steady plug to it. And we'll go ahead and power it up. You'll see it power up there in a second. And just like that, it's powered on. You can see the LEDs are lit up. And we're at about 41 watts, give or take. And it is getting hot quickly. So there you go. It's pretty spot on within 1 watt. That's not bad. All right, let's try something with a little more power consumption behind it. Let's go with our heat gun. This is our Radio Shack 300 watt heat gun. There you can see the 300 watt right there. Let's power it out on once and see what we get out of it. Get the plug going the right way, of course. Power up. Right now we're at 0 watts. It's a simple on-off switch. Okay, there it is running. And we're at about 286, 287 right in there. And it's hot right now. And it's not putting any strain against that. Dropping just a little bit, but no big deal. As expected. So there's our AC power. And by the way, before we go away from that, we have our AC indicator right here. You can see it right there. That's a nice little indicator. Lets you know what mode you're in. And of course you have the green light here to tell you as well. All right. let's switch over to USB power and see what we get next. So for our USB power, we have just a very simple desk lamp here. And it's just a standard USB-A connection. Go ahead and power it on. You can see it come on there. And it's outputting about 2 watts. And right there is our USB connection. So, not a bad little setup there. And then last but not least, let's go ahead and give that cigar plug a try. And for the purpose of our cigar plug, we're going to do a test with a Baofeng UV5R with a battery eliminator. As you can see right there, and there's our cable. So it's got a nice clean pop to it there, and that's a nice sturdy, rugged cover for the cigar plug. Go ahead and get plugged in. And it's solid, it doesn't feel loose, it's not oversized or anything like that. DC power on, tells us a little car emblem there, and we can see the light. Let's go and power up.
Channel mode.
And of course it goes right in. Let's go ahead and transmit it once. KC3NHE testing. And we can see the wattage jumps up there to about 15 watts. It's a 5-watt radio, but then again, it's a Baofeng, so who knows. But we can see it actually producing and making power, and it has no problem powering up the Baofeng. So, in short, there it is. This is our Predator, and just to give you a look at it there, it's still in DC power now. We'll go ahead and shut that off. It goes back into percentage mode at 98%. And that is that. All right, so let's talk a little bit about some price point here. 200 bucks out the door, get you 3 cables. We talked about that. Get you the standard 12-volt cable, get you the cigar plug cable, and get you the solar cable. Your standard 12-volt, your solar, and your cigar plug with the Anderson power pulls. And I'll bet you could probably double that up. As rugged as that is with 16 gauge, you could probably run that off the front end too to power up your radios as well if you wanted to. So, dual purpose option. In its price point, the next closest in price is the Jackery 300. This is $350. The Jackery 300 comes in at $264. And if you want accessories such as a solar plug, which only fits into this front end and nothing more, that's an additional $70 add-on. So you're well over $300 at that point. The Blue Eddies are starting to go above that, and so are the other ones that are out there. This gives you 3 options to power with 2 different plugs. We talked about that on the back. We can use either the standard 120, or we can use the powerful input, which we already have set up for ours, and we can go from there. Like I said, this is Harbor Freight's first attempt at this. This is the only one they offer right now. It's the 350, but I have a feeling in due time you're going to see a 700 to the 500 version. You're going to see a 1250 to the 1000 probably, and then when you start getting above that, you might even see 9,000, 10,000 running watts come out of these things, just because they've already exceeded the rating in the class that they're offering. All right, so these are brand new. Nobody's talking about this yet here on YouTube. This is the first place you're seeing the review right here. Ham and Cheese has it first, okay? And the only mention I've seen of these so far is there's one channel talking about the new products for January at Harbor Freight, and they mention this on the channel briefly. Nobody's done a review of this yet, so this is the first review you're seeing right here of it. So we managed to keep it cheap and easy. We had a $25 coupon, and I had a couple Harbor Freight gift cards I put towards it. I was able to take it home for $100 bucks. You can't do that with any of these other products that they offer. And Harbor Freight has pulled the Jackeries from the line. They've pulled the Blue Eddies and the other stuff that they used to offer from the line, and they're going straight to Predator now. They can do it better in-house, and they're already doing it better just on this first model that they've output. And I have a feeling as they go and improve on these, they're only going to get better from here. So this is absolutely a 5-star winner. I wouldn't hesitate to pick another one of these up. And I can't wait to see what they bring out bigger, because I'm only going to go bigger from there. And truth be told, for the purposes of home emergencies, things like that, this might end the days of dual fuel generators. This might end the days of those big, heavy, clunky compression engines and things like that. I think Harbor Freight's really going to change the game here with these. So stick around, wait to see what comes from them. It's only going to go up from here. So with that, go get yourself one, get yourself two, whatever. This is an absolute steal at the price point, and it's an absolute winner. And I would not hesitate to pick up another one. All right, kids. Thanks for watching. 7-3.